Hi everyone, it's Kiri here with another process video for Bramble Fox. And for this layer, I'm using the fabulous November Fox box. I'm using a number of the perspectives, and I'm also using the Paper Snips number 47 and Fox Cut number 79, come with the Fox box plus subscription. So the paper collection that I'm using is the lovely new Cocoa Vanilla Studio Heart and Home, and I've just pulled out this striped pattern paper here, and I'm just actually scoring it. Now, I normally have a scoring board, but I'm actually away scrapbooking, so I haven't got everything with me. So I'm just using my trimmer and a folding. Cool. No, what is it called? Can't even remember. That's terrible, isn't it? Anyway, so there we go. What I did was I just folded it and I concertinaed it. So just to create a bit sort of background detail. So that was a bit, a bit of interest. And it gave it some dimension. And for those of you who do know my layouts will know that I do like to get a bit of dimension and texture into all of my layouts. Nothing is ever sort of really completely flat. So I'm just playing around there. I've pulled out some of the embellishments. I've pulled some of the perspectives there. So you can see I'm using the Home Comforts, which is one of the title perspectives from the Fox box. And there's a really lovely set of like 3 books, which is perfect with my photo. And then there's also there's a mug with a heart on it. So that tied in really, really nicely. So I was just working out the placement of everything, but I wanted to add some background detail, and I'm using the Fox Cut stencil that comes with the Fox Box Plus subscription for November, and I love the randomness of it with the circles and the like little diamond shapes because it just allows me to add a little bit of detailing in the background just to stop it from being completely flat and white. So I just worked out where my photo and background papers were sitting, and I'm adding a bit of detail there at the top and then just at the bottom, the left there under the wood grain pattern paper. And I will add some further stencil detail at the bottom. Now, apologies there. I am getting a bit of shadow, I realise, on my video here. It's mainly because I don't have my regular setup. So I have like one light, and there's spotlights above where I'm working, and it's not completely above me, but it is just meaning there is a little bit of shadow every time I'm picking things up. I can see that now, so apologies for that. Okay, so I'm going to stick that down. I was just adding some wet glue to the mountain folds, so they're the folds that come up like a mountain. And then I'm placing that down, and then I can start to sort of build in the embellishment clusters and get my photos stuck down. So I've got a couple of the house pieces of ephemera, and what I'm doing here is I am just trimming off a little bit of that extra white border. It is just something that I do. It's, certainly you don't have to do that. It's just really personal preference. I tend to prefer just a slightly narrower white border, so I do just trim that off. And yes, it does take a bit of extra time when I'm doing that, but it's fine. I don't mind a bit of fussy cutting, actually. I know some people really hate it, but I really quite like a bit of fussy cutting. So yeah, and here I go again. Just got this floral cluster, so I'm doing the same with that too. And I will do the same with a couple of other pieces as well that go over on the left side. So I've got this photo here, and it's in the corner of our lounge room, and I've got it's my favorite striped chair. And then I found this really cool like metal rack that I was able to pop some books in, and then I have a picture at the back, and it's actually the front of a load of book covers, penguin book covers. That was perfect. And then I have a light, obviously. And it's just a perfect little reading corner. It's lovely just to go and sit there, relax, and just read a book. And I do love reading. I have always loved reading since I was a little girl. And I go through fits and starts, but I have to say I've really got back into reading and reading proper books. When I was working in London, I would use a Kindle, would go into London with a Kindle because it was just easier when you're traveling rather than carrying, big books and things like that. Actually, I really love reading a proper book. I love the smell of a new book. Yeah, there's something about it, definitely. So I have some of my favourite books in the little book rack there on the side. I'm a bit of a fan of Kate Moss, and these are the authors. It's not the model. Kate Moss, Joanne Harris. I'm really loving Lucinda Riley's series, and then I'm a big fan of Harry Potter. So, and I've just got into actually Robert Galbraith's the Cormoran Strike mysteries, which of course is J.K. Rowling as well, and I'm just going through and reading those. So yeah, it's just a perfect little corner for me at home for myself and my husband, who also loves to read too. So yeah. Okay, so I'm now getting things stuck down. So I fiddle around a little bit over here with these the sort of where the books are going to go, because I wanted to sort of have them standing. But I didn't want it to look like they were just sort of standing in the air. So I'm just figuring out where those floral clusters can sit, because then the books can just sort of tuck in behind one of those floral clusters, the one on the left there. So right, I'm starting to get those stuck down now. So I'm using just some glossy accents on those, and then I'm just sort of perching the far left book just on a slant, just like it would be if it was stood on a bookshelf. And then I'm getting that final floral cluster sort of just tucked in under the bottom there. So just got a last little flower I'm going to tuck in there. And when I was doing the layout, I realized that the bottom was looking quite empty. I know I would add some journaling, but it was really feeling empty. So I've got a couple of pieces here that I've torn, and I'm just tucking them in. So I'm tucking one there. It's sort of a very soft sagey green that I'm just tucking up under the main central piece. And then I've repeated the wood grain at the bottom and repeated that striped pattern paper too. And then I'm just going to stick those down there. And I think it just really helps balance the layout. And I will add another embellishment cluster on that bottom piece there. So you sort of create that triangle of design. So you've got your embellishment clusters at the top left, and then over to the top right and at the bottom. And it just really helps bring a design together, and it draws the eye in. So I will do that. So I'm sticking the Home Comforts here. Now I fiddle around. I've got the glossy accents on it. I keep holding it up, making sure I'm really happy that it looks okay. And then it falls off. So I do add a little bit more glossy accents, particularly because it's sitting on the mountain folds of my striped pattern paper piece, which is obviously concertinaed. So it's not like it's completely flat. So I just wanted to make that sure that that's stuck nice and strong. Okay, I pulled out the paper snips. I'm using one here, and it says love yourself, and it's a picture of books, so that was perfect. And then I'm just pulling out a few other elements that I thought would work really well with my layout and photo. So I've fussy cut all of those out, and then I have it says home sweet home, and I've got a couple of other sayings, and I'm just going to mount some of them with foam pads, and then I can tuck that one there is thankful, and then I think I've got good read, but I am going to actually add that down to the bottom when I do my cluster here. So I've got a floral cluster again, sort of replicating the two sides at the top. I've got the mug, I've got the book, and then I have my circle piece, the Lose Yourself. Now this is your DIY epoxy flair, and I've just pulled out my little clear flair that I stuck over the top of that, and I'll get that stuck on. So I'm going to just stick down these final phrase elements here, just working out where that's going to go. That one says gratitude, and I've just stuck that along with the home sweet home, and then thankful over on the right, and then on the bottom I will build up the cluster here. I've got another one there, that longer phrase, and but I don't end up adding that actually. I tuck in the little mug of hot chocolate, and then sit the book there, and there we go. I just add that DIY, the little epoxy flare is going to tuck in under there. And then I'll add good read, and it'll sit over the book with, I've got foam pads on the back of that one. So that just works as my bottom cluster. And then I can add my journaling, which will sit below Home Comforts on the white card. And then I'm pretty much done. I'm just adding in some of the epoxy hearts, coordinate with the Cocoa Vanilla Studio Heart and Home collection. I'm just fiddling around like usual, working out exactly where they need to go, because I can never, not very decisive, honestly. I do move them around a lot. Anyway, I'm nearly there. So yeah, this layout came together really, really well. So apologies again. As I say, it's moving in and out a little bit because I'm on a different stand with my camera and the lighting as well. So apologies for some of the sort of shadows. Okay, I'm almost done. Oh, that's right. I'm going to add some gold splatters. I've just pulled out my Cambella watercolor here, just watering it down a little bit, and I'm just adding some gold splatters around the embellishment clusters, and then I am done. I hope you've enjoyed watching the process video. The layout came together really, really well, and yeah, I hope you like it. I have some close-ups coming up right now. There you go, the final layout with my journaling added, and then some of the close-up images where you can see the fabulous perspectives from the November Fox box, along with the stenciling detail from Fox Cut number 79 and the Paper Snips number 47. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you again in another video. Bye for now.